everyone, this is Music Tech Help Guy, and today we're going to be unboxing and reviewing the Apogee Duet 3LE. So this is a special limited edition bundle that includes the Apogee Duet 3 audio interface, the Duet dock, which allows for greater portability to and from your home studio, and it also comes bundled with 3 Apogee plugins. But again, this is a limited edition bundle. There are only 3,000 of these that will be made available, and they're being sold exclusively at Guitar Center stores in the US. However, you can buy the Duet 3 and the dock separately as well if you prefer. So first, let's unbox this bad boy and see what's inside. Then I'll take a closer look at the Duet. I'll break down all of the controls and specs, and then finally we'll make some test recordings. So let's get right into this. All right, so let's unbox this thing. So it just comes in a sleeve here. There's sort of this outer sleeve. On the back, get some info about it. A 2x4 USB-C audio interface, onboard DSP, 2 instrument inputs, 2 mic line inputs, and 2 balanced outputs. So for speakers or monitors, comes with the Duet dock as well, and this adds an additional headphone jack. All right, here it is, the Duet limited edition set. Got some warranty information. It also comes with 3 free plugins. So you'll see this card here with access code to download and install those plugins. There's a special note from Apogee detailing what number this unit is. So like I said before, they're only making 3,000 of these. So my unit is $29.95. And then some more warranty stuff. Let's open this up here. Okay, so we've got the Duet 3 itself. Oh yeah, that is sleek. That's for damn sure. That is sleek. So it looks like sort of like a big knob controller with just one main big knob. Yeah, this thing is solidly built. This is like glass and metal. The whole back is rubber, so it won't slide around. You got a headphone port on the front. We've got, let's see, probably our dock connector on the back, and then USB-C as well. And let's go ahead and just peel this off here. Oh yeah, that's satisfying. We've got our USB-C cable. I always love this when they do this these days. You've got a USB-C to USB-A adapter. A lot of the newer MacBooks don't even have USB-A, so that's a nice touch. And then the other thing you get here in this bundle that you normally would have to buy separately is the dock, which just makes hooking up everything to this much easier and much simpler. So here's the dock. On the back here, you can see there's an additional headphone jack, and this is a 1/4-inch headphone jack, your 2 mic or line inputs, your 2 DI inputs for guitar or bass, and then your 2 speaker outputs, your line level outputs, and then additional through ports for the USB-C. Now, one thing I'm surprised this doesn't come with is the sort of cable extension that comes with the normal Duet 3. I know if you buy the Duet 3 on its own, it comes just like this. It doesn't come with the dock, but on the back there's an additional cable, like an extension cable that hooks up to this port, and that contains your XLR, your mic level inputs, it has your outputs, it has your DI inputs on it as well. So that's what this is used for. So I'm actually surprised they didn't include that extension cable in this bundle, because that would make it even more portable. So that just slides right in. You've got the dock attached to the interface. And one of the things I like here is, like, if you're using this in your home studio, you want to keep all these ports on the back. Like with most small audio interfaces, they put all the ports on the front. But if you have this as part of like a permanent setup in your home studio, having all this stuff on the back, I think is really helpful, because it just keeps the cable clutter away from your desk. So there it is. That is the Apogee Duet 3 limited edition bundle. It comes with your USB cable, the interface itself, plus the dock, as well as 3 Apogee plugins, which I'll demonstrate later. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hook this up to my computer, and I'm going to test out all the features and show you how all of this works. Okay, so I've got the Duet 3 hooked up to my MacBook Pro over USB. Really, the first thing you want to do is you want to go to apogeedigital.com, register the unit, and then download Apogee Control 2, which is the control software for the Duet 3, which you're seeing on screen right now. So the control software is going to give you some additional control options that are not directly on the unit itself, like switching between mic and line and instrument inputs. adding phantom power and things like that. So first, let me go over the controls on the Duet, and then I'll go over the controls in Apogee Control. It's a very simple setup. It's like a big knob setup. And you're here right now, you're hearing my voice through the Duet, which is why you're seeing this meter here. So this is the level meter for channel 1. There's another meter on the other side for channel 2. So right now you can see input 1 is selected. And if I turn the big knob, this will pull up the gain. If I pull it down, this will turn down the gain. So you can set the gain just by turning the knob. Now, if I want to move over to channel 2, I'm just going to press the big knob once, and now we're on channel 2. Now, I don't have a mic hooked up to channel 2, but I can control the gain of channel 2 just like so. And one of the things I find really cool about this is if you're making stereo recordings in Apogee Control, you're going to set the analog level to mic for both channels, set the gain to the same setting, and then click here. This will actually group the two channels together. So you have linked preamp gain control if you're trying to make stereo recordings with two microphones. So I'm just going to turn that off for now. And like I said, there's no option out here for phantom power or anything like that. But for each channel in Apogee Control, you can switch this over to phantom power just by clicking on the 48V. You can turn on a soft limit, and you can also flip the phase. So you can do that for both channels. The other thing you can do is if you want to plug in a DI instrument like guitar or bass, you just click here and you switch this over to instrument level. And now you're going to plug into instrument level input 2 on the back of the dock for your guitar and bass and things like that. And you can also switch this over to 2 different line level formats. You have +4 and -10 line level inputs as well. I'm just going to switch this back to mic input though. So those are the 2 inputs. It's very simple to use. If I press the big knob again, this is going to jump over to the speaker outputs. So these are the main TRS outputs on the back. And if I pull this up or down, you'll see that this pulls up or pulls down the speaker level. And there's also an indicator here for the speaker level. But what if you wanted to mute the speakers? Well, if you just press and hold, you'll see that the speaker light starts to flash, and you'll also see in Apogee Control that the speakers have been muted. Now, to unmute, you just press and hold for a couple of seconds. The light comes up in solid again, and that means that the speaker output is turned on. Now, if you press the big knob one more time, this will switch over to your headphone outputs, and you can control the headphone level. So once again, they're in Apogee Control. You can see moving up and down. And if you want to mute your headphones, the same thing applies. You just press the big knob for a couple of seconds, and you'll see the HP light is flashing, showing that the headphones are muted. And if I want to unmute, I just press and hold for a couple more seconds. It comes back to a solid light, and we're using the headphones again. Press the big knob one more time to cycle back to input 1. Now, one of the other things that's really cool about this unit is it contains onboard DSP processing. So it actually has its own custom channel strip that you can use that's built in. So the hardware itself is doing the processing, not your computer. You'll see that there are 2 additional effects options here up at the top. If you go into Apogee Control, there's 2 options here for Print Effects Rack. So what you do is you just turn this on, and that turns on the effects for that channel. You click here on Effects, and this opens up the Apogee Symphony ECS channel strip. So what this is it includes a 3-band EQ with a high-pass filter. You've got a drive knob, you've got an output trim control, and there's also a built-in compressor in here that can be blended with wet and dry mix. So this is really helpful because you can kind of do some of the processing on your recordings in advance rather than having to do it all with plugins in your DAW. Now, if you don't like using input effects for recording, that's totally fine. But like for my voice, maybe I want a little more bottom end on my voice here. I can do something like that. Maybe I want a little more top end to bring out some of the sibilants. Maybe I want to pull up the drive a bit. And then maybe I want to pull in the compressor. I'll pull down the threshold a bit, get a little bit of gain reduction. You can see the gain reduction meter right here. And, if I want to use a more extreme setting, I can do that as well. And then I can apply a wet dry mix to this. So I can apply some parallel processing on input. And there are other presets you can choose from in here as well that are good starting points. You can turn on or off each unit within the channel strip here. So you can turn on or off the EQ, turn on or off the compressor. And then you can also switch the order, the signal flow of the EQ and compressor. So with this switch up, it's EQ first, compressor second. With the switch down, it's compressor first, EQ second. And as long as you have this option here turned on, these effects will print into your recorded audio signal. If you just want to record a clean signal, make sure these are turned off and you will no longer hear those effects in the recorded signal. Okay, so it's been a couple of days. I've had some time to test out the Duet and get used to all of its features. The next thing I want to do is I want to make some test recordings. I'm going to abstain from using the ECS channel strip, and the reason why is I want to be able to show off the 3 plugins that are included with the Duet 3 later, so I don't want to color the tone in any way, and I also don't want to distract from the natural sound of the preamps. So I'm going to do acoustic guitar. I'm going to do a second take of acoustic guitar layered up, and then I'll do a take of vocals. And I'm using the JZ Microphones V67, which is a fairly uncolored mic. It doesn't have an overly bright top end or anything like that. So I think this will be a great mic to sort of showcase the quality of the Apogee preamps in the Duet 3. Okay, so next up, I'm going to track some vocals. Once again, I'm not using the ECS channel strip at all. This is just completely raw, going straight into the preamps on the Duet. Again, using the V67. Last night I went home without you, driving in the pouring rain. I've got so many things to say to you, but I never say them in the right way. I know it's hard, I know it's tough, I know we've messed up so many times enough. Just keep on trying, keep on living, love me like you always did. Just stop the hurting, start the healing, live this life 'cause it's worth living, live this life 'cause it's worth living. Okay, so now that I've got my test recordings done, let's check out the 3 plugins that are included in the Apogee Duet 3 LE bundle. So what are these included plugins? You get the Clear Mountain Spaces reverb plugin. You get the Pultec EQP1A, which is a low and high frequency EQ. And then you get the MEQ5 EQ as well, which is sort of like a mid-range EQ. So let's start with the EQP1A. This is one of my favorite types of EQs for acoustic guitar. Let's just solo the left guitar. Let's add a little sparkle to it and maybe a little more bottom end to it. You know, we probably could throw the MEQ5 on here as well, kind of dip out some of the low mid boxiness. Maybe I'll add a little more presence in the mid-high range as well. Okay, cool. Let's add both of these to both guitars. Okay, let's add some EQ to my voice. Let's start with the EQP1A once again. I'm gonna add a little top end and a little bit of a low end boost as well.
Last night I went home without you, driving in the pouring rain. I've got so many things to say to you, but I never say them in the right way. I know it's hard.
And then I can use the MEQ5 on the vocals as well if I want to maybe pull out some of the mid-range. And then I think what I'll do here is either on like 1, 2, or 3K, I'm going to add a bit of a boost just to bring out the diction, the clarity in my voice.
Last night I went home without you, driving in the pouring rain. I've got so many things to say to you, but I never say them in the right way.
Okay, I'm going to create a send off of all 3 of these channels, and I'll go to bus 1. And this will be my reverb channel where I'll place the Clear Mountain Spaces plugin. And the way Clear Mountain Spaces works is it's really 3 reverbs in one. You have the Apogee Studio Mix This, which is like a really like heavy reverb. And then we have Roscoe. So there's 3 different reverbs.
Last night I went home without you, driving in the pouring rain.
So Apogee Studio is kind of like almost like a room reverb.
Last night I went home without you, driving in the pouring rain.
Kind of a bigger, more dense reverb with Mix This. And then Roscoe.
Last night I went home without you, driving in the pouring rain.
Sort of like an ambient, ethereal reverb. So let's actually use a little bit of all 3 of these. Some Apogee Studio for a little more body, Mix This for some density, and then Roscoe for some ambience.
Last night I went home without you, driving in the pouring rain. I've got so many things to say to you, but I never say them in the right way. I know it's hard, I know it's tough. I know we've messed up so many times enough. Just keep on trying, keep on living. Love me like you always did. Just stop the hurting, stop the healing. Live this life 'cause it's worth living. Live this life 'cause it's worth living.
Okay, there you go. Those are the 3 included plugins that come with the Apogee Duet 3 limited edition bundle, the EQP1A and the MEQ5 from Pultec, along with Clear Mountain's Spaces. Okay, so that's the unboxing, the overview of the features, and some test recordings with the Duet 3. At this point, I just want to give you some final thoughts and a final review of this product. Okay, so right up front, I'll let you know I'm a little biased with Apogee products. I absolutely love Apogee products. I spent several $1,000s on a Symphony IO for my home studio, and I absolutely love it. I do not regret buying that unit. I really love the sound of their clean preamps. But like my Symphony IO and Symphony desktop reviews I've done previously, I absolutely love the Duet 3. It's probably one of the best sounding portable interfaces I've ever used, so I absolutely love it. Now, with that said, I do have some minor criticisms of the Duet and also some criticisms of the limited edition package as a whole. The first is Apogee products are not cheap. This is definitely not what I would consider a budget-friendly product. Even though it's, you know, a small format product, it's still studio quality. And that's one of the things I actually really like about Apogee is this might be something you might use in your home studio, but you know that you're getting really high quality conversion, really high quality preamps built right in. Number 2, this is really my biggest complaint. The limited edition bundle doesn't come with the breakout cable. I think I called it an adapter or an extension cable earlier. It's a breakout cable. And when you buy the Duet on its own, it comes with a breakout cable that you can plug in right here. And that breakout cable has all of your XLRs on it. It has all of your inputs and outputs. So if I think of like the ideal user for this product, I think of someone who keeps it in the dock at home, has all of their peripherals connected, their microphones, their speakers, all that kind of stuff, the computer, all connected at home permanently. But then when they want to take it on the go, they just pull it out of the dock, they grab their breakout cable, and they take that with them to make site recordings, to do recordings on the go, maybe a podcast on the go or something like that. So I think they kind of missed the mark there, but if you want to buy the breakout cable separately, it's $65. So it's not like horribly expensive. So I'll probably end up getting one of those because that's sort of my user case for this product. Another minor thing, there's no phantom power on the unit itself. You have to turn phantom power on in the Apogee Control software. And again, I think this might be something that can be fixed in firmware. Like, remember I showed you can press and hold the main button here to mute the speakers and to mute the headphones. Why can't I switch to input 1 and then press and hold to turn on phantom power, then switch over to channel 2, press and hold to turn on phantom power? That would just give you one more control on the unit itself rather than having to access this completely in software. And my final complaint, it's really a minor thing, but one of the things I love about most Apogee products is that the device controls for the product will show up in Logic Pro. So you can turn on phantom power, you can turn on a filter, you can phase flip, you can adjust the preamp gain. That's one of the reasons why I love the Symphony IO and the Symphony desktop so much, is because all of those device controls show up in Logic if you're a Logic user. For this product, for some reason, only the preamp gain shows up in Logic. The phantom power, the filter, the phase flip, those don't show up in Logic. So once again, you're having to go back to the Apogee Control software for that. But again, hopefully this is just, you know, a future firmware fix. But other than those 4 minor things, I absolutely love this little interface. It's super portable. I'm definitely going to buy the breakout cable, and I'm definitely going to be keeping this because, like I said before, my use case for this is not as a daily driver. It's something that I can hook up permanently to my laptop in my other office. And then when I need to do site recordings or I need to do some work on the go, I can just pull it out of the dock, bring the breakout cable with me, bring my laptop, or even bring my iPad and take that elsewhere and finish my work or do my recording work or do site recording work. So for me, that's why the breakout cable is so necessary, because it gives you full portability. It just allows you to use it as a dedicated unit at home or in your studio, and then pull it out and easily just take this and the breakout cable elsewhere to do site recordings or work on the go. If you're interested in checking out the Duet 3 for yourself or the limited edition bundle for yourself, I'll leave links in the video description and comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to see more content like this. As always, thank you so much for the support, and thanks for watching.